Hi, I'm Dr. Beer, and I'm a wood hoarder.